Now let's start recording. There we go. All right, we're recording. Um, okay, so we have a message, or yeah, someone requested to speak. We're gonna invite you to speak. Uh, and who is that? 9. Is that 94? I don't see the rest of your name. Uh, oh, I see. Never mind. All right, so it's because I'm recording, so it's how do you say that? I think it's cutting off some of your guys' names. It does that because streamer mode is enabled. But hold on, let me see. Streamer mode is enabled. Usernames have been truncated. Yeah. Well, I didn't stream actually. I just recorded. Oh, but it's okay. All right. So like, I might say your name all screwed up. So if I do, then it's because of that. So D in red. If you want to introduce yourself, go for it. Let us know your current level of experience. Let me disable that. Maybe that'll help. No. Yeah, Daniel is great. Well, Daniel, you already been here. 94 DJ Red, you've been here. Jamsey, Roach. So then, whoa, who said they were new? Oh, Cusp God. Uh, you're going to take notes for now. All right. All right. Sorry about that. It just truncated the names for a little bit, and I wasn't sure who was talking or who was chatting. All right. All right. So, like I said before, if you just joined, which would be Cusp God and Roach, um, or if you missed last week, I don't know if any of you guys missed last week, or which one of you guys missed last week. So we made some progress in setting up the project. So we're still in the beginning stages of setting up the project, but we've came along pretty good. So um, I know some of you guys. All right, who was that? Oh, you just heard about this yesterday. All right. Where'd you hear from? A online platform, or did you have you already joined the Discord? You heard here on the Discord. Let's see. Oh, your girlfriend found it online. That's pretty cool. All right. Uh, all right. So, assuming you love the code or you're trying to learn the code, you can put that in the chat if you want, like what your level of experience is. And then if your girlfriend likes the code too, maybe you both can join us. Let's see. Um, but Roich, I haven't heard nothing from you, so it's up to you. You don't have to say anything if you don't want. But I was hoping you'd introduce yourself, maybe tell us a little bit about your experience. If not, don't worry about it. You can put it in the chat too. You don't have to worry about speaking on stage. Mm, I'm waiting for him to finish typing. Well, my session expired. I didn't know that's all right. Oh, you'll be going to school in fall. All right. Cybersecurity is not bad. There's actually I have a link to my YouTube channel where I talk about the different programs that are out there. But you're going to university, it sounds like. So like that's good. If you're going to university, don't even worry about it. Um, a university is a good option. So like I have a recording on YouTube where I talk about paths into tech. Um, because Dark Mode Devs, we offer a path. Like we have a mentorship program where I mentor you and get you job ready. And at the end of that, while you're looking for a job, if you need some kind of internship experience, if I feel that your skills are up to par, then I'll invite you as an intern and then get you some internship experience. And then hopefully that helps you too with your resume as well. But if you're going to go to university, it's a slightly different thing because with the university, it's going to be because that's where I'm at right now. I'm at my junior year at the university, but I've been coding for a little while now. But I'm also a coding bootcamp graduate, and of course I'm a CEO, founder and CEO of my own tech company. And like, so what I was gonna say, oh yeah, and then I was mentored by almost a dozen senior software engineers for like almost a year, about 8 months, almost a year. So like, my whole deal was my experience as a university student has been there's going to be employers that are hesitant to hire you because you're a full-time student. So like for me, I'm a full-time student, and their complaint is that it's how can you give a full-time commitment when you're a full-time student? And they don't want you to quit school. So they'll tell you to reach out when you graduate. So your best options are going to be as a university student to look for internships and apprenticeships while you're a university student. So just that's just a FYI to you right there if you're going in for a university. University is the longer path, but it is that degree in the end is going to be valuable. I'm not going to say it's not, but it is the more expensive. What I call the or what we call in our video on YouTube the luxury option. Not everybody can do that right now. Um, yeah, if you can get a scholarship, even better. So go for that. Me, I got grants. So like right now, I qualified for grants, and about half of my education is being paid for with grants right now. So otherwise, I'd have to. Otherwise, my when I graduate, my degree would be well, it'd be a lot more. So that's good. All right. So besides that, we started this project. Oh yeah, and then the coding boot camp. That's what I was talking about. Anybody interested in coding boot camps? My sponsor. Um, New Camp Coding Boot Camp. That's the coding boot camp I graduated from. They have a lot of them. They even have a cybersecurity program now. What is the other one? Oh yeah, and then there's self-taught. If you want to just roll self-taught, like it, because it doesn't matter how you get into tech. You can get into tech however you want. Like you don't have to spend any money if you don't want, or you can spend money if you want. You can learn from whatever resource you want, but as long as that you have the skill set and you're hireable, you'll get the job. It doesn't matter if you have a degree or not. So the reality is that a degree does give you an edge. So like, but the reality also is that if you perform better on the technical interview than someone with a degree, then who do you think they're going to hire? I mean, they'd be stupid not to hire the person that performed better, right? And that's the reality. So the reality is it's stiff competition anyway. You're going to be competing against each other no matter how you learn. And so I say it's the dedication, the persistence, and commitment, strong commitment, not giving up. Like it has to be your life too. You got to be coding like every day. Like me, I code every day. I'm working on stuff and coding every day, and that's how you have to be if you want to be serious about it. Even while you're in school, like when you're in school and you're learning coding, or even if you're in classes that ain't learning coding, code. Like I don't care if it's a couple hours a day, just code every day. Do something every day. That's the only way you're gonna get good enough. Um, all right. So besides that, we started this project. Anybody's welcome to the YouTube channel. We don't have much videos on there. I'm gonna post more content. I'm creating content with some people, but like if we go to YouTube, you'll see we only got 2 videos. We just started the channel. So if I go to my channel, oh yeah, I'm not even sharing my screen, but this is for people just watching. But if you guys, I'm gonna share the link with you guys that are here in the event again, so that way you can see videos. I created one video where we coded together. It was the initial setup of the project itself, but you're not gonna have to worry too much about that. We'll walk you through that. Um, like it's a good video that we made because then you'll learn how to set up a basic web dev project with the web bundler for your personal projects for yourself if you want to watch that video. But you don't got to worry about setting all that up for the project we're working on because it's already set up. You just got to know how to clone the repository, which I go through in that video. You got to learn how to clone the repository, and then so you can connect to it from Visual Studio Code if that's what you're using. I use Visual Studio Code. That's the one I recommend. And whatever extensions you want, then you want. There's no required extensions, but you have to be able to have basic command line skills. And that's the video I'm currently going over to make is all right, thank you. Yeah, thank you for for that subscribe. All right, so and I'm basically but right now I'm in the process of making a basic command line tutorial because you guys got to know like basic command line just to get around on VS Code, or you can use the GUI. So there's two options. You can use the GUI, but if your goal in the end is to get a job at a big tech company, then you're gonna have to know how to use the command line. You can know how to use the GUI, which is great, but they're gonna want you to know how to use the command line because they like command line junkies, and I don't mean that like in an offensive way. I just mean like straight up, like they like command line junkies. That like they like people that know how to really know how to use the command line. So it's good to at least have a basic handle on that. They're not gonna expect you to just straight up do all your coding and all everything from the command line unless you're like really proficient at it. That's great, but they like when people know how to use the command line. What's the difference between what? The GUI and command line. Oh, I could probably share my screen. Let me share my screen. I'll show you real quick. If I go to screens, yeah, I'm gonna share my first screen real quick and go live with it. Uh, and then I'm gonna open Visual Studio Code. Have you guys used, or I know some of you have, but I don't know. Have you used Visual Studio Code before? Custom God? I don't know what to call you, so I'm calling you by your nickname. All right, you said yeah. So the GUI would be they call it graphical user interface. So like it would be basically over here on if you're looking at my screen right now, it's on the left. So like basically if I open up a project, let me see where I have this project living at right now. I don't know if I have it on my drive, my external drive, or if I have it on my computer itself. No, I have it on my external drive. All right, so give me a second. Let me plug in my external drive so I can open up that project we were working on, just so I can show you what the GUI looks like. Because it's not going to show you the some of the operations on the GUI unless I open up something. So give me a second. All right, let me close that. Um, give me 1 second. I got a message from somebody, but we'll get to that later. All right, so we have, where did I store it? Oh, I think it was our public project. Yeah, the AI health project. All right, so I know where it's at. Let me open that because that's what we called it, AI health project for now, because we haven't given it an official name yet. Um, so if I open that folder, this is what the project folder looks like so far. But the GUI would be like here when you click source control. Um, and then it says to manage it, so I'm gonna click on there. It kind of looks like this, but like if I wanted to make a change and commit it, or I can handle my source control from the GUI on Visual Studio Code, like do my pulls, my pushes, my cloning, my checking, my checkout to different branches of the. Because right now we have two branches. We have the main or production branch, and then we have the dev branch, and then we have the fetch. You can do all these things you can do in the command line. And what I mean by command line is like here you have the GUI or VS Code's user interface to be able to stage commits or commit anything or pull, push, etc. Whatever you want to do is source control because this is how you're going to deal with getting the code onto your computer from the GitHub repository and being able to work with it. And then when you make your changes, you want to push that. Um, the other way to do it was the command line or the terminal or the console. So like this is all one big console. And you know you have your output and other stuff, your debug, but your terminal is the main part where you're gonna be like whatever your commands are. It could be like the one we talked about was get clone, and then it's gonna be the link to the GitHub repo, and then you're gonna hit enter, and it's gonna go through a series of setting all that up for you. Yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay if you're bad with the terminology. but get used to it. Like you're just learning, so who cares? But like you want to like get familiar with it. If you're taking notes, like write down the difference, and then when you're talking about it, even on your own, or just reference it like that, because that's what it is. They're gonna when they talk about your terminal, they're gonna expect you to know what they're talking about. But like if you're since you're going to university, if you end up in a apprenticeship or an internship, you're gonna pretty much get trained anyway. Most people that don't go to university, they don't get that advantage. So like that's the advantage of a university student is that um, you're gonna get like on the job training. So like they're gonna hire you, they're gonna pay you not a lot, but they're gonna pay you something, and they're gonna train you at the same time. Versus most of us or most people that ain't a university student, I shouldn't say us because I'm a university student, but most people that ain't a university student, if they don't get a internship or apprenticeship opportunities because they're not currently students. The closest they're going to get to that is a coding boot camp, depending on how in depth they are, or a mentorship, like with a mentor, someone that's going to sit there and train you through everything. Um, okay, so Ricardo's new here. So Ricardo, if you want to take the stage, you can. We're talking about something just a little bit. We're talking about the project, and someone asked a question. If you want to take the stage, you can the hand in the upper right hand corner to maybe you can introduce yourself, tell us what level of experience you're at, or you can just type it in the chat bubble if you don't want to talk, like how you found it in the chat bubble. Go ahead. I'm just curious. So like what we're building, or let me now that we went over that example, I'm gonna stop streaming. So I'm gonna stop streaming that screen I shared really quick. Uh, Okay, so what we were building is, let me go to, if you go to, actually go, let me share the link to the GitHub repository. So those of you that are new, you can see that yourself. So let me go there right now to the GitHub repository, and then I'll share the link with you guys. So, uh, where is it? AI Health Project, there we go. And then, oh wow. All right, we got the main, but what about on the dev? Was there any pushes to dev? Yeah, there were. All right, so we got some pushes to the dev. I'm gonna send you guys the link to the dev branch. Um, oops. Here, let me get rid of the YouTube channel for now. Okay, I'm gonna send you this link where you can go and you guys can go check out the GitHub repository for the project. Um, but basically, if you go to the chat here on Discord, we have a chat where we started, where it's gonna be in the where did I put that thing? Oh yeah, okay, so I put it in yeah, where did I put it? There's no way that thing got deleted. Let me see. Oh, here it is. So where it says dark projects, there's going to be a section called dark projects, and you're going to see Shaking Cups, Lotus List, AI Health Project. So the AI Health Project you're going to have access to. So go ahead and click on that one, and it's going to give you a brief description of what the project's supposed to be. And it's basically, if I were to click on that right now and scroll to the top, basically it's going to be an AI platform that helps users stay conscious of the foods or drinks they are consuming by uploading the ingredients in the form of text or images and then getting feedback from the AI regarding the healthiness of the foods or drinks they want to consume. So it's kind of like that's what I posted up there. So like that's kind of an overview. We all came up with the idea as a group. So like I didn't just come up with this idea. We all sat there at our first meeting as a group and we started brainstorming, and we all knew we wanted to do something that had AI. So we came up, we're brainstorming different ideas, and we finally settled on this one. Uh, so um, so I thought it was a good choice, and then we generated some example names, just to help, maybe for inspiration, or if anybody likes any of them. Uh, we did talked a little bit about theme branding, core features, um, technologies to consider, but we started with Bootstrap because we wanted it to be beginner friendly, and um, The other stuff is kind of like deal more in the future, like the marketing and engagement strategies is more like when we're ready to put the MVP to market. Data privacy and security, that would be something we need to consider, in the future before we release it. If there's going to be any user accounts, anything like that. I don't think that, I think letting people or users know that we're not going to be selling their data, that their data is going to be secure with us. So I think it's a good way to get trust and to be different from other people, because there's other people out there making applications and they're taking the user data and they're selling it. I didn't want to be one of them people. And dealing with legal liability and compliance, which means that we got to have, how can I say it? We got to have like a clear disclaimer everywhere that we're not health professionals, that the advice we're going to offer is general, or maybe we're going to at some point consult some kind of health professional to see um, what we can and cannot talk about, or where we get. But clearly, we got to have a disclaimer there, because certain things or certain information, when people look at your source for information, they have to know that whether it's professional advice or not. That's just how it is in the United States. That might be how it is in other countries too, but I know because I'm from the United States, that's how it is in the United States. Let's see. Now let me go back to our meeting. But yeah, if you go there, that's pretty much. And Spring Framework for Cloud API is still very new to the field, so happy to be here and learn more. Yep, hell yeah. So that's cool. Java and Spring. All right, so I've heard about those two. Uh, Java, yeah. How old are you, Ricardo? Like, or you don't have to tell me how old you are, but like, are you like young, like new, like, um, just because that's like an old technology. Like that's a good technology because it's hireable. People are hiring for it, but like Java's been around for a long time. And then like I normally when I meet people that are Java developers, they're usually like my age or older. They're not like in their 20s, they're not like 20 years old or in their early 20s. Uh, so that would be interesting if you pick that up young. All right, let me see. I'll deal with that later. Okay. So looking at the project, oh yeah, I hear you. Yeah, because that's how it is with the government agencies. They're all using old tech. Yeah, they're all using old tech. They're all using the old technologies, but hey, you get paid, and that's what matters. You're getting paid as a developer, so that's good. All right, and then that's good experience. And then there's also people that I've met in my network that um, when they got their first job in tech, it wasn't exactly what they wanted to do. So like they took time to be a front end, back end, or full stack engineer, and they started off with Q&A, testing or something like that, or even they started off learning React, and then they ended up getting a job doing Angular or something like that. So like you got to be aware of that too. So the key point is being really good at your chosen programming language. No matter, like if it's going to be a JavaScript framework, then be really good at vanilla JavaScript. Because if you're really good at that, then you can pick up any framework within a couple weeks or less. Um, but like for Java, Python, like if you're going to go to university, like Cusquad, he's going to university. They're going to teach you C, C++, Java, Python, C sharp. You're going to have an option to learn all those things. Um, Maybe not much JavaScript depending on the university, because there's a lot of universities that don't teach a lot of JavaScript. If you want like heavy JavaScript, then you'll have to look at the university to make sure they're going to teach you enough JavaScript if that's the route you want to go, or you'll have to eventually take a coding boot camp or like a mentorship program, because um, uh, most universities they teach the main programming languages that have been around for a while, and that because there's like a bias, I guess you could say. There was like a bias in the industry that's like older than me. So like there's guys that are like older than me that have been around in the industry for decades, and they talk about you'll hear some as you get along in experience, you'll hear about people talking about JavaScript and they think it's a joke. And there's people that don't consider web developers actual programmers, but they would be wrong because in modern times, JavaScript developers are not it's not just a big field, like not just a big thing anymore, but it's really, really serious and really difficult and really, really hard to keep up with. It's probably more harder to keep up with than whatever they're doing on in an older technology. So like it's changed that bias has like changed. So like people that are keeping up to date with everything, they know that JavaScript these days in the modern times is a really serious programming language, and it's considered a high level programming language to some extent. Probably not as high level as like C++, but it's in that area. But I personally like JavaScript better than Python and Java. I like my favorites are C++ and JavaScript. Um, C Sharp, I've checked that out, but it doesn't really have my interest because they use it in game development, I believe, and mostly in game development and .NET development. And I don't really care to get into .NET development, and I don't care to use Unity. So the Unity engine with game development, they use C Sharp. C++ for game development, you're going to be using Unreal Engine, which is the big tech. That's the big thing to be doing. Um, and game in the gaming world, that's the one you want to learn is Unreal Engine. That's the one that's going with the where the graphics are going so realistic. It looks like like you're in the real world. Basically, if you guys seen any of those demos on like Twitter or LinkedIn or Facebook, Unreal Engine's put some demos of their games coming out here soon. Some of them are VR, some of them are not, but they look like you're in the real world. And they're like shooter games that they're showing. They look like you're in the real world. It's crazy. But that's Unreal Engine. Unity's not that capable. Unreal Engine is like the future. So like I would say if you're gonna get into game development, C++ and Unreal Engine's the way to go. Um, Okay, so that's Jamsy about assigning roles. We haven't yet, so Let me get back on that. I kind of get excited about all this other stuff. So let's go to Miro. So like on the Miro, I checked that out. So anybody that doesn't have Miro, I want to connect you guys that are new, so I can share. Um, you guys can get on the AI House project here. Um, I think Daniel's already there. All right, so we got Daniel already there. Um, but you'll see in the mirror, you just zoom in a little bit. I'm not sharing my screen, am I? So let me get you guys the link to our mural board. Or actually, I gotta invite you guys. So, okay, so let me share my screen so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. Oops, I'm opening applications on accident here that I shouldn't be opening. All right, let's close that one. Let's get back. Where are you at? All right, let me share my screen again. So I'm sharing my screen so that you guys can see the mural board while I'm live with the mural board. So those of you that are new, you're gonna have to. We haven't assigned roles yet, Jamsy, because we're still in the initial stages of getting everything fleshed out. Like we're trying to get all the project details set up, the project details fleshed out. We still have to, I believe, do our wireframes, and then once we get the wireframes done, then we can start assigning who wants to work on what page, doing what tasks, things like that. And then we're gonna need content, people working on content. We're gonna need we're gonna want people. We're gonna do like separating. So like unless you want full stack experience, we could put you on both sides at some point in time. But front end people, back end people. Um, I was gonna let the majority of you guys do the front end because I'm like already really proficient in the front end, and me personally, I think I'll be needed more on the back end side of things, where it's gonna be a lot more difficult. Where we're gonna connect to the where we're gonna do all the connections, for our or for our AI and things like that, making sure that we can scope it right and train it right and things like that. But like, yeah, if any of you guys are interested in learning about AI, you'll want to get involved in that group too. Um, I think you have the link already, Tiffany. Do you? I thought you had the link to the mirror already because I think I invited you already. Let me check. If not, I could post it. Uh, so the ones that are new, uh, you don't have to give me you don't have to give me your link, or I'm sorry, your email, and publicly in the events meetings. You can DM me if you want your email. So it's up to you. If you don't mind everybody seeing your email, you can go ahead and just drop it in the chat right here, and then I'll send you an invite for the Miro board. But if you do mind, if you don't want nobody seeing it, then you can DM me, send it to me on the DM, and I'll go ahead and all right. So he doesn't. All right. So cause God doesn't care. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and send you an invite right now. So let me send you an invite. Share. Right. Yeah, that was it. And then we'll see here. Yeah. Oops. No, no, no. Yeah. Can edit. Yeah, you can edit. And then I'm gonna send you an invitation.
I'll be booking right now.
All right.
I'll be back at 3. That's when I get off.
All right. I'll see. So we'll send that invitation. I just sent that to you. And then we've got who else? Ricardo. So I'm sending you yours right now. I should have sent yours both at simultaneously, but it's okay. I didn't realize you were sharing already. All right. So I'm sending you that one. Done. Okay, and so I sent you yours. Anybody else that's here? Roich, I think, would be new that does not have access to that. So if you decide that you want that access, go for it. Who's that? Okay, so I'm gonna take my Discord off screen. Somebody DM me probably with a email. So all right, so 94 DJ Red, I'm sending you one right now. All right, so I was making sure that where do we have it? Oh, there we are already here. All right. Jeez. All right. So I just sent that. Another one. Who else? Who else? Was that? T Nerds typing. All right. So give me a second. Give me 1 second. All right. So back to the event. I'll have to save it as a favorite. All right. Let me get you the link. I believe this is the link to the Miro that I can send you. I'm pretty sure. Let me look and see if there's another link that it's gonna give me. Copy team invite link. Yeah, let me do that. So I'm just gonna send you the team invite link in here. I believe that one works. I'll have to go. Let me go back. Let me make sure. All right, I'm just making sure that I know who has access to what projects. All right, so like if you look at that Miro board, there's already been some contributions by people. Um, so you're gonna have. All right. So someone did do a good job already. Someone started setting it up pretty good. Wrap up mind map. And we got here project planning. Yeah, wireframes. So that's like another thing is we have to get going. So I believe Thomas, if I'm looking at that right. Let me look at that. Um, yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to check that out to see if somebody already assigned themselves. I don't mind if you guys assign yourselves, or feel free to like check stuff out. Um, just try not to like the documents where they're talking about like the project itself. Try not to alter those or delete anything in that area. You can add to it if you want. Like if you want to create a sticky note and then like maybe add to that, and then we can talk about like implementing if you have any suggestions or ideas. Oh yeah, so let's go to the GitHub. Let me see. Well, because I have to get you guys that are new into the GitHub, so let's go GitHub. Let me see. So, collaborators. Oh yeah, hold on, I gotta authenticate. Mm, where is it at? Oh yeah. Huh. I forgot I took the GitHub mobile app off. Uh, I'm crazy sometimes. All right, so let's go. All right, here we go. So we got some. All right, yeah, this guy's invite expired again. I'm just gonna remove him. He can reach out to me anytime he wants. All right, so the collaborators we have right now. If you guys want to collaborate on the project, I believe I'm still showing my screen. So like, I can add you to that by your username. So do you guys have those of you guys that are new? Do you guys have a GitHub username? Do you guys have a GitHub, Ricardo or Cuspad? I think you're the only two that are new. Yeah. And Roich. Roich is new, but Roich hasn't said anything. So Cuspad says no. I know Ricardo does. You gotta have one, Ricardo. There's no way in hell you don't have a GitHub. All right, so Cuspad, yeah, I see how you go. So don't take it the wrong way. Um, because you're new and you're just learning. So I'm gonna send you the link. Yeah, don't worry about it. So I know Ricardo does because Ricardo's already working. So like we're gonna send. You'll see here. I'm sharing my screen. I'm gonna see if I got Ricardo. Yeah, that looks like the only one with that name. So I'm gonna send you the. I'm gonna add you to the repo. You should be getting that link. Yeah, and then let me know if you got that, Ricardo. All right, Cusgod. If you're looking at my screen, you got to go to GitHub.com. Let me see if I can get a link for you. And it's not hard. It's not hard to create. Yeah, GitHub.com, I believe. Mine's gonna go because I'm logged in, so I'm just gonna get you the link. Because I'm already logged in, so it's not gonna be good. So just go to GitHub.com and click on there and set up an account. Just create an account there because if you're gonna be a developer in the future, you gotta have a GitHub account. It's like there's no way around it. Like you're not gonna escape having a GitHub account. The positives about the GitHub account is that it's a place that hosts all your projects, and then you got to know how to collaborate on GitHub because if you get a job or an apprenticeship or internship in the future, or anything like in our mentorship program, we do the same thing. We use GitHub to collaborate, to host our code, to work on code together, all that stuff. You're gonna there's no way you're gonna get around that. Even alone, like if you're self-taught, It's a skill you have to learn, and you're not going to get around it. And then not just that, it's a good place to have your projects and to show you that you're actively coding, because that's what like um, employers want to see. They want to see that you're actively engaged in coding, and they'll be able to see your activity. Like they'll see your chart. Watch, I'll go to my, let me go to my profile, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So like you can create your own profile. I can show you guys. This all I did. All I had to do was use Markdown. There's a certain way you have to access your README for your profile, and then just write Markdown, and you can create your own. Is that updated? Okay, yeah, all right. Your own profile. For a little while before I had like for you, Cuss God, this can work as like a, how do you say that? Almost like a on as a temporary portfolio, because you have your projects hosted on GitHub, but at the same time you have this profile that people can look at in the meantime until your learning is enough to where you can develop your own portfolio website. Like my portfolio website is this one right here. So if you click on this link here, this is my portfolio website, and then it's gonna go to like my about, um, all my skills, my resume, my services. This was when I was freelancing, so I haven't taken this section off. I should take the services section off, or at least point it to darkmodedevs.com. Uh, but here is my projects. Some of them. These ain't all my projects, but these are just the ones I wanted to put on there. And then I have my contact page. So like you'll get to a point where you'll want to build your own portfolio, and if you're going to be a full stack or front end developer. But if you're going to be a back end developer, you ain't got to worry about like coding your front end, unless you want to learn how to do that. You can use like a CMS, and then have your backend projects that are coded, hosted like on the CMS. So I was trained by some senior engineers, and one of them did that, and they didn't use that against him using a CMS, because he's not a front end developer. So you can't expect someone that's not a front end developer to code front end. You know what I mean? It's just a full stack developer and a front end developer. There's no, you have to code that front end. You can't use a CMS. So don't think that I'm gonna apply for a job as a front end developer, as a full stack developer, and I'm gonna use a CMS to drag and drop my website. That ain't gonna fly. They ain't gonna hire you. But as a backend developer, you'll be able to get away with that because your backend projects are all in code, and that's what you want. You want everything in code. You don't want to have all these no code tools on your portfolio. Unless like I said, unless you're a back end developer and you need a front end put together, just so that way you can host your projects on something. But that's just my advice to you. Do what you want. But I would say, depending on what you're trying to get into. All right, so like here's your activity. Mine's ain't too much, um, but you'll see that some people, you'll go to their because I'm working on projects and coding every day, but I'm not always like pushing and pulling from my GitHub repo every day. But some people, you'll see theirs, and it's like everything is like lit. Almost the whole thing is green. They're busy, busy, busy. Um, I've been trying to figure out how I can get mine that green. So but like you'll see yours. It'll show your contributions to your repo and your activity. And like employers, they like to see this thing like lit up, as lit up as you can get it. Uh, yeah. So basically, that's that. Um, you want to have that. Let me go back to, or wait, let me go back. I could just, pretty sure I can just hit the back. Yeah, there we go. All right, so we're back at collaborators. Uh, do I go public or private on GitHub? Okay, so like if you're creating a repository, you can go public or private, but I think your profile itself, I would go public, because you want everybody to see. Like you want future prospective employers in the future too. You want them to be able to see your go public. Just go public, because if it's talking about your profile, you want them to see you want them to see you, your contributions, your projects, your profile, about you, things like that. Um, You don't want that blocked off because then it's pointless. You might as well not have an account. Unless you're working for a company that says to make it private, then leave it public. Um, Let me see. But for me, like if I'm working on a project that's I consider proprietary, that I don't want to be public, then I'll just set the repo for that project that's private. Um, so I have some of my repos are private, some of them are public. Um, but yeah, set that up. Get me your username and send it to me, and I'll get send you a collaborator link. Um, Give me 1 second. Let me check out. All right, I had somebody message me, so excuse me for that. I had to send somebody a message. So back to what I was saying. Uh, Whenever you're ready with your username, you can send that. All right, so that's the state of affairs for the project. So like, don't feel like I hope you guys don't feel like it's overwhelming, but there's different ways you guys can do. Like, if anybody, okay, so because we're still in the stages of setup, we're not ready to just start jumping in and start coding yet. All right, let me get that. Let me send you a link right now to collaborate. Give me 1 second. No, add. There we go. All right. Yeah, we're gonna add you. All right, I just sent that. It's pending your pending invite. So all you gotta do is accept the invite, and then you'll have access to our repo, the AI Health Project repo. And then it's gonna show you the main branch, but you can go into where it says main. Click on where it says main in the upper left corner underneath where the title is, and then it'll say branches. And if you select the dev branch is the one that you got to be developing on. So that's the one we have to develop on, and then I'll walk you guys through that for a second. Like if you want to connect to it, it's gonna have like the prerequisites, which is basically how to set up. So first you have to clone it. You want to clone it. You want to clone the project in your GitHub first, and I can like show you guys how to do that if you need help. And then but this one is the prerequisite to make sure your npm is up to date. So you want to, this is just, all this is doing is saying, you're using the npm install command to install the latest version of npm itself, and globally, you want it globally. This is a G flag. You want it globally because you want it in your across your whole environment on your computer. You don't want it just in the project. You want it in your whole environment. You want it set to global. So you want to update npm globally on your machine. And then after that, you would clone. This is the actual link you would use. And if you'll clone it from your project, you would do the git command to clone, and you would use the B flag to designate the branch, which is the dev branch that you want to access and clone the project from, and you'll be cloning the project at this link. And then after you run that command, you would run the npm install command, which will install the dependencies and development dependencies from the project on your computer so you can run it. And then after that, to use it, you would do npm run start, and that'll run the development server for Parcel, so that way you can run the project from Parcel. So like if I went to, for example, if I went back to my, let me go back into my VS Code because I'm sharing my screen. I'm pretty sure I already have that project open. I believe I opened it. So like if I went back, okay, so if we open the source folder, you guys will see there's a JavaScript file, SCSS file, an index HTML. We're not going to use vanilla CSS because Bootstrap's going to compile the SCSS to vanilla CSS for us. So like, don't worry about that. Don't worry about anything in the disk file or the parcel cache. Those auto-generate. They update on their own. The only files you'll be working in is the main.js, the styles SCSS, and the index HTML. The package JSON is what's going to show the development dependencies, which we're using Parcel and the Sass transformer to transform our Sass into CSS. And then our dependencies, our main dependency is the Bootstrap framework, the CSS Bootstrap framework, and Popper.js, which is the Bootstrap's JavaScript. So we can run those Bootstrap styling in our components when we're developing. So like if I go back here, this is all we have for now. But like if I run the command like npm start or npm run start, it'll run the development server. So I'll lift this up so you can see it running. And it's gonna say server running at localhost 1234. And if you do a control click on that, it should open up the project here. See it? And that's all it says, hello bootstrap and parcel, because it's just a setup. We haven't done much yet. And then it's gonna have a primary button, which is does nothing at this point. It's just a button. It's just all it is to make sure that we're using bootstrap styling, that we have extra access to bootstrap styles and bootstrap JavaScript. And that's all it was. So like at this point, this is what the project looks like, which is nothing. We're gonna eventually delete all this and start from scratch. Let me go back to VS Code. But basically, if you're new to, let me kill the server. So if you want to kill the server, you do Control C while it's running, and it'll kill that server. But like for example, how I was talking about, let me minimize this so you can see it, and then we'll go to where's our GitHub? I'll just see, we'll use this one and we'll go to GitHub. All right, so we have these instructions here. Like if you want to, like for me, I already have it. So like if I did like npm-v, it's going to show me the latest version of npm I have on my computer, which is 10.4.0. So I've already updated my npm, I'm pretty sure. I think there might be up maybe 10.5, but all you have to do is hit the copy button here, and then you can paste that command into your computer. And if I hit enter, it's not going to hurt my computer. It's just going to install the latest version of npm, which might be already 10.5, but I can recheck it by running the command npm-v, which is the version of it that's 10.5.0. So I was off, I was behind a little bit. All right, so now it's global. Now I ran that command global, so you can see that that's how you run that command. Don't worry about don't worry about this either, because I'm recording this event. So when I post it, you guys can go back and watch this video if you want to figure out how to run things. I'm on the main branch right now, and what you would do is just copy this, because right now you're not going to be you might be on the main branch, you might not, but you just copy that and you paste it. I don't want to paste it because then it's going to reclone the project. And it's but for me, like I'm already in the project, so I can go to my source control, and then I can go to checkout too, because you're going to use your checkout. And right now it's showing me, all right, so it's not giving me the option to check out to my dev branch, so I'm gonna have to fix that. All right, so before we get off track, those of you guys just setting up, what you're gonna want to do, or you know what, let me just show you. Let me see if I could just let me see if I can just do it like new, so that way I think that'll be a better example. All right, so let's just say that um, you're brand new, right? So you're not gonna have any of this. So I'm gonna close this folder, and I'm just gonna say I'm gonna go into my file explorer, just to make it easy for you guys. And let's just do, I'm gonna call this my temporary folder, just because oh yeah, there's already one though. All right, so we'll call it AI AI project, and we'll call it temp. This is just me calling it temporary because I'm gonna delete it after we do this, after I show you guys how to connect to the repo. Um, but basically, I'm gonna create a project folder, then I'm gonna open that folder. Um, where did I put it? Documents. All right, temp. So I'll select it, open it. It's gonna ask you if you want to trust the authors. You're the author, so I would trust it. Basically, we're here. When you do a control backtick or open your terminal, however you want to you want to open it. It's up to you.
You can't see it. You
You
just
can't.
have the browser show. You don't see your computer.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, all right. Yeah, because I split my screen, so I don't know why the hell it's not. Okay, so let me reshare it. I'm gonna stop streaming, then I'm gonna reshare, and
Okay.
it should work now. Let me see. That is crazy. It didn't work before. Screen two, go live. All right, tell me if it's working now.
Okay. Now we see it.
All right, so sorry about that. All right, so like I said before, if you want to set up the project, all I did was go to my File Explorer in Windows. I'm using Windows 10. If you're using Windows 11, it's going to look a little similar. All you have to do is, all I did was I just named my folder AI Project Temp because I'm going to delete it because I already have a project folder. Um, so what I'm gonna do is I open that folder because I went here. Like if I open it again, I can just close. Let me close the folder and I'll open it again so you can see. I go into the Explorer from Visual Studio Code. Oh yeah, thanks for that, Tiffany, too. I didn't realize that I wasn't sharing. All right, so and then we're gonna open our AI project folder, and if I go okay, my terminal's already open, but normally if you're not used to opening it, you just control backtick. You're gonna hit open. um, I could show you how to use the command line to create the project folder, but I was gonna do a video on basic command line practice. That way I can post that for you guys. For now, I'm just trying to give you a quick intro, like a quick intro, so you can just set up and hook up to the GitHub and hook up to the project. Basically, if I copy the prerequisites, which was the npm latest, it's not gonna hurt if I run that again. It's not gonna hurt. So if I run it again, it's not gonna kill my machine. It's already there. So like if I want to verify that, you just do npm-v to check the version of npm. Also, the other prerequisite that we should have put on here was that you got to have Node.js on your computer. So if I put node-v, it's going to show you that I have the current version of Node. And we're going to talk about Node in a second, or I could talk about it right now actually. If we go to Node.js and we go to their website, you're going to want to set up on your computer um, 2011 LTS. Don't use the current with the latest features. This is the latest stable version. The LTS version is a stable version. This is the version that it's not going to have bugs. It's like stable, which means that um, it's already tested and it's good. It's good to go. It's ready for people to use. This one's like probably still under development, and they could have bugs and maybe features that are still under development themselves. So like you want to stick with the stable version. If you guys want to go see how to install, how to set up Node.js on your computer, I believe if you watch that first video, the video I posted on the YouTube channel, we went into the setup of Node.js as well. That's if you don't have Node.js in your environment already, but you could check it with the command node-v um, here, and it'll tell you if you had Node.js on there. The next one I wanted was I'm gonna get the installation part where it says clone the repo and check out to the dev branch. I'll basically just paste that in there, and if I hit enter, it's gonna basically build my project here. You see it? So now I have the project on my in my project folder on the dev branch. I'm hooked up there. Uh, but what I don't want to do is I don't want to run my commands. I don't want to run the npm install or the npm run start command from this folder here. I want to run it from this folder here. So because the way I did it was manually, so that before until I post that video on command line, just close the folder just for now and then reopen it. You're gonna go back to wherever you put it. I put mine in documents, double click, and make sure you click on the AI health project folder and open that one. Don't open the temp folder that I created, the exterior folder. Don't open it from there. When you're dealing with commands for your project, you want to be running it from the root directory of your project itself, which is the health project. So now I'm going to reopen it and make sure that the only folder I'm in right now is my AI health project folder, and I got my other folders or subfolders of the project that are in the root. So from there, we're going to go ahead and do our open up our terminal again. And now if we run the second command, the install npm packages, if we're running this command npm install, if you what that's going to do is it's going to install the development dependencies and the dependencies here that we rely on for our project to run. So if we you got to run that install command because it installs those locally in your environment. So that way you have Bootstrap's JavaScript and Parcel, everything installed on your machine for the project. Because just because you cloned it doesn't mean that you have access to these things. You still have to run these commands to get access to them on your machine. And then usage, the last one was npm run start. So if I copy that command, once I do that and I run the npm run start command, it should open up in my browser, but not yet. It's not going to open automatically. You have to control click. So if you, as long as you get what you see here, that means everything went well. All you got to do is control click, and then you're going to have access to it on localhost 1234. Oh, so there it is. That's how you guys can connect to the repo. Just to show you one more time. Um, I'm Control C so that way I can kill the server. I don't want to leave it running. And I'm gonna go ahead and close this, and my other folder. I'm likely gonna delete it. So um, if you guys have any problems for some reason, like if any of you guys are trying to connect to the GitHub repo that are new, um, you guys can like reach out on the DM and uh, let me know if you guys have any issues or anything, and I'll help you out. Even if we have to do like a quick call, if you have whenever you have time, we can do like a quick call. You can share your screen. I'll make sure that you're connected correctly. All right. 360 vision. I don't know if you've been around before. I don't recognize that. Are you new? Yes. All right. So can you tell us like what level of experience you got? You can speak on stage if you want, or you just got to click the hand button. Oh, beginner. Okay, that's cool. Um, Yosef, yo. All right, so if 360 vision, if you want to get on the mural board, you can. So like I said, like we're in the stages of still setting up the mural, and I was gonna get into that next. Next we have to do wireframes. I believe somebody assigned themselves to wireframes, but like if anybody's interested in wireframing, one of the popular ones is Figma. So like if you go to Figma, I do believe they have a free account where you can have access to like minimal stuff, and you can see you can like wireframe your own like what you want your website to look like or your project, whatever you're working on. You can wireframe it, and then you have like a guide because we're working in a team. Like we're gonna need like a guide, everybody, because everybody's gonna be working on different components or different parts of it. So like it's good to have that guide. Like when you're working on a project by yourself, it's up to you if you want to wireframe, but like with the team, it's probably gonna be good to have that. Okay, so 360 Vision, first time using Discord. Wow, yeah, welcome to Discord. Yeah, Discord's great. You'll like it. Uh, so you said what is that? What do you mean, Figma? If you're talking about Figma, oh, the project. So the project, yeah, it's the AI health project that we're all working on that we're gonna collaborate on. I'm gonna post this video because I don't want to be repetitive. So like I'm gonna post this video on the YouTube channel. You'll see it inside the chat. I posted the link. If you scroll up in the chat, I posted the link to the YouTube channel, didn't I? Yeah, up here. I can repost it down there if you like. Let me see. Let me see if I can repost it down there. Just so that way, you don't have to scroll a mile away to get to it. Yeah, there's two videos on there, but I'm gonna post this video from today's meeting on there, so that way if you want to rewatch it, you can see what we went over. Yeah, you can get caught up, and then what I'm gonna need is if you have a user account for GitHub, I'm gonna need your GitHub username, and then if you have an email to get on the Miro board. So like I'm sharing my screen right now. I don't know if you know how to access that. Um, but the Miro board is where we're planning the project. So like Miro, you'll see if you join the or wait, what am I doing? All right, so like you'll see when you join. Um, the Miro, it's basically it's laying out about the project, and then it has different sections for project planning, meeting tools, or for holding meetings, like a brief description with relevant links that relate to it. And then it's gonna have we haven't started wireframing yet, but in a general sense, somebody laid out something like this is like a flow chart. It's just like the general flow of the program, but like I don't know what they're thinking. I have to like see who set that up and then discuss it with them to see what they were thinking as far as that goes, because that looks like it might be a little bit too complex for what we were doing because I don't think we needed all that that many pages to do this. We'll see. All right, so and then these were just like just basic frames on Miro that you can like you can develop or make wireframes like for different viewport sizes, like a tablet, mobile, and for like a PC, desktop. Um, Other than that, like that's what I need. I need your email to invite you to the Miro board if you want to work on the project. You can give me the Miro, or you can give me your email in the DM and like privately, or you can give it to me right here in the chat, whatever you want. But that's if you're interested in the project. If you want to work on the project with us. Also, I'll need you to have a GitHub profile, and then I'll need your GitHub username, and you'll see that when you rewatch the video. You can send that to me on a DM too, if you prefer. And then if you send me both in the DM, if you rewatch the video later, um, then we can go ahead and get you set up on the project, and then you can start contributing if you want. Yosef, what's going on? All right, all right. So yeah, get back to me as soon as you're done. All right. Um, Daniel, do you have any questions, Daniel, or IT nerd, Tiffany? I see IT nerd. I'm so used to calling you IT nerd when I see your name instead because I
Oh,
know your
this
name, Tiffany.
yes, no. So far, I'm just getting everything together and putting the project on my computer. I'm just waiting for um, to be assigned tasks and
Yeah,
just learning a little bit more about the project. Mhm.
yeah. I guess like that's basically what it was. Is like an update until we finish getting everything ready because we still have to finish the README MD for the project, um, and then we still have to figure out. Well, yeah, finish the mural boards and the planning, and then we're gonna assign tasks and jump into coding because we're not gonna just jump into coding the website for this one because then it's gonna be chaos. Because we got so many people that are collaborating, we have to have some kind of organization because if we can't, you know what I mean? It's gonna be a lot of conflicts if we have everybody just willy nilly everywhere. Um,
Oh, okay.
yeah, so like we're gonna,
Um,
so like if you see something on Miro you want to add to the project, or like if you want to do your own wireframes, like if you like once you read the project description, if you feel like you want to work on like some wireframes, you can put them on the you can create them and then post them on the Miro board so that way we can see them.
okay,
And so like whatever you
okay,
guys want to work on, like you can work on like maybe the descriptions, like maybe add some ideas to the project using sticky notes.
okay.
So like um,
Color scheme or just like typography and
you can do whatever you want. Yeah, whatever you think. Like
okay,
everybody's ideas are
so,
welcome because in the end, we're all gonna say, okay, let's go with this design or this color scheme, or I like
okay,
this setup or this type of navigation, whatever. We just want to welcome
okay.
everybody's ideas and designs, or
Thanks.
to the project because it's like a group project. But I wanted everybody to like to be able to contribute wherever they want to contribute. If you want to like be all over the place, that's up to you. But like if you want to just be in a
Okay,
specific area, you can let me know and then I can put you like in a specific area.
okay, okay.
So like if you just like
Um,
if you don't want to do design, let me know. If you want to do design, let me know. If you want to be everywhere, let me know. If you want to just do front end, let me know. If you want to do back end, let me know. If you want to do both, let me know. Whatever. Yeah, I just
okay.
like cuz
I
that's how I
actually
feel. I
want
feel
to do
like
both.
wherever
I
we're
actually
coming,
want to learn both.
yeah, that's what I
Yes,
mean.
I
Is
actually
like
want to learn both. Uh huh.
yeah, so like yeah, we are gonna eventually at some point, if we're gonna have user data, we're gonna end up creating a backend for that, and then but we're also on our backend. That's where we're gonna have all the logic for the AI, and then on the front end, we're just gonna be using Bootstrap. So HTML,
Okay.
SCSS with Bootstrap, and then we're also going to probably likely be using people are going to have to learn how to do some kind of DOM manipulation when we have our backend, and to some extent when we have our AI, our generative AI. Um, because we
Okay.
got to link the front end with the back end, and then but yeah, it's all different skills we're going to learn along the way because it's going to be a full stack project. So like depending on what your
Nice.
interest is, we're going to be everywhere. And then on the back end, we still haven't decided if we're going to stay with JavaScript or if we're going to do it in Python yet, because we had a couple Python guys that wanted to contribute, but well, one of them kind of already left the project. He's not, I don't think he's interested anymore. But one of them staying, but he said he wants to learn JavaScript. So I'm like, okay, so then maybe we should just go with JavaScript, because that's what my idea
Okay.
was. I originally wanted to do JavaScript everywhere, but
Yes.
we had a couple Python guys, and I wanted if they wanted to, if they had no interest in learning JavaScript, I was going to tell them I wanted them to feel welcome and be able to contribute somewhere. So I didn't mind. I know some Python, so I didn't
Okay.
mind doing it in Python. So like we'll see where that goes, but the front end is set. The front end's going to be HTML, SCSS, JavaScript with Bootstrap. And with Bootstrap, you're going to use I put the link to the docs in Bootstrap, I think in the channel. So like those of you that just got here, if you don't know, there's a channel for the project in the Discord channel. It's under the section called Dark Projects. Everybody has access to it because it's public, the AI House project. And if you click on that link, it's going to show you the description of the project up top, and it should have links in there, relevant links. But um, one of the things you'll have to get familiar with is Bootstrap. So let me open up Bootstrap real quick.
Okay.
So like if you go to Bootstrap, um, Bootstrap's website, we're using the current version, which is 5.3. You're gonna go to Docs, and the main parts you're gonna want to get familiar with these documentations. So like you can read the introduction. We already went through the setup. We set ours up with Parcel. That's what we're using is Parcel for the web bundler. You could look at the customized section, but you'll be getting there later. But the main points you want to look at when you're starting is the layout. Is you want to read the layout section, and then you're gonna want to go into the component section, and then from there start looking at the other sections. Utilities is another important one. But with Bootstrap, basically like when you write Bootstrap, there is some HTML involved. We have a SCSS file, but it doesn't mean that you're gonna be writing a lot of SCSS. The majority of stuff you're gonna be writing is Bootstrap. So like the way to write, you writing Bootstrap. Like for example, if we go to the container, it's just basic, but you're gonna be using like here, yeah, we're using a div for an HTML div, but to create a Bootstrap container, we have to use the container class, and Bootstrap will automatically has SCSS running under the hood that's gonna style that container for us. But like everything you're doing, you can use a fluid container, whatever you think. You'll have to start learning, reading the documentation. But like for example, if we go to our components and we want to like I don't know, let's look at a button and we want to add a button to the page somewhere. Um, this is the HTML tag, which is the button tag. The type is going to be buttons. That's HTML. But the class is what's getting us the Bootstrap style. So we have a class button. But like if you want, these are Bootstrap buttons here. And the way we're getting the Bootstrap styling on them is right here. We're using the
Okay.
button class and we're using the button color primary, but we're also gonna have custom colors. So like for right now, we can use these colors if we want, but when we develop a color scheme for the project, we're gonna want to use that custom color scheme. But you're still gonna be using Bootstrap classes to develop whatever you want to develop. Like for example, if we look at like uh, a card or maybe even a carousel, if somebody wants to add a carousel at some point, like
Oh.
in a random
Oh.
lot,
Okay.
you're gonna it's the classes in Bootstrap that are creating the actual component. A lot of this is
Okay.
HTML, but the classes is the important part. So you want to style first with your classes, all your classes to get all your SCSS styles from Bootstrap because you want to use Bootstrap CSS first because Bootstrap is a CSS framework. So you're going to use Bootstrap classes first, and whatever you can't find in Bootstrap, if it doesn't like if it's not good for you, you feel like you need to use custom SCSS, then you want to go to SAS's website, but you want to make sure that you're using SCSS and not SAS itself. So if you go to Learn SAS, if you want to write in the SAS files, it's basically the same as vanilla CSS, except for a couple differences, which is the variable syntax is a little bit different. They use the money sign to write variables, and nesting. These are the two common things you're going to use the most. And like if you look in SCSS, and then they have SAS, we're using SCSS. Um, like for example, if you wanted to target the nav bar and the unordered list item in the nav bar, this is how you would do it in vanilla CSS, but this is how you would do that in SCSS. So it's going to be a little different. Like if you wanted to hit the list item instead of having to target it like you can target like it's just a little bit different in SCSS because of the nesting. Because all of this right here is nested inside of the nav is inside of the because you're selecting the nav with your selector, and everything inside of there, the anchor, the list item, and the unordered list is nested inside of that nav selector. And instead of having to write nav, nav over and over again, that's what makes SCSS better. And then
Oh.
it helps you with keep from writing duplicate CSS code. But there's other things you can do, like you can use modules, you can use mix-ins, uh, inheritance or extend. You can use operators, but that's like a little bit more advanced. But the majority of stuff that people are going to be doing, that especially at a beginner level, is you want to know the variables and the nesting. Get used to that first, and then check out the other stuff if you want to.
So with the SAS and the SCSS, to enter that into the project, is there a link that we have to connect in the project? So you know how with Bootstrap, in order for us to use Bootstrap, we have to put it in the HTML. Is that the same thing with SAS and CSS?
No,
SCSS.
you don't have to worry about the CSS because the parcel, the web bundler is taking care of the CSS. Uh, says I don't think I see the directory for dark projects. Not sure if they're the
He's
same.
looking for the project, the channel, and I was trying to
Oh,
help him.
yeah, he should be able to. I think you can see my screen. If you're inside the dark mode dev server, if you scroll down, you're gonna scroll down until you see dark project section right here, the one I'm like toggling through. You might have to hit the little toggle right there, the little arrow on the side to toggle it, and then it's gonna have three projects in there that we have right there. And then you'd click on AI help project, and then you click on AI help project, it's gonna take you here to the channel for the AI help project. So try that and let me know if you're having trouble still. It shouldn't be set to private. The other two are set to are locked because they're different, but the AI help project's available for everybody to see, so you should have access to that. All right, let me go back. Um, yeah, check that out, Ricardo, and
Okay.
let me know. All right, but yeah, the regular CSS, you don't have to worry about that. Like if you, I think I'm just sharing my screen. If we go to the AI help project here, like I'm gonna navigate through the folders really quick. So like we have a source folder, and if we're looking in our source folder, we have our JavaScript and our SCSS, but we're gonna be writing SCSS, not regular CSS. Regular CSS is gonna get handled by the parcel web bundler, and that's going to get compiled into the SCSS is going to get compiled into regular vanilla CSS on build. So you don't have to worry about writing vanilla CSS. We just write SCSS in our SCSS files, and then we write
Okay.
JavaScript in our JavaScript. Index HTML is for our HTML and our Bootstrap classes. So like if you see here how when I did the starter file, all I did was, of course, there's this HTML. A div, an H1, a button is all HTML. But the class names, these are bootstrap classes: container, PY, PX, and MX auto. Like those things are all bootstrap classes.
Okay.
This one's
So
everything where it says
so
class is bootstrap class or styling.
Okay, so I have a question for you. With this project, are we allowed to, you know how a lot of employees, they want you to have actual, they really don't want you, they really look down on internships. They want you, an actual project that you actually collaborate on. I'm talking about using they see, they go to the GitHub and they see your name on there that you collaborate on that project. After a while, can we
Right.
use this
But they can
project as a
only
reference?
Well, yeah, that's the whole
Uh,
point is that everybody that's a collaborator here, we're all gonna be collaborators on the project and we're all moving forward like that. So like what I'm looking for is consistency. So like I'm not looking for people just
okay.
to hang out and not do nothing and then expect to um, benefit from everybody's work in the end. I'm looking for everybody to contribute something and then so that way everybody's benefiting from everybody. And then, yeah, in the end, you'll be able to put this on your resume. I'll never delete this project. It'll stay on the GitHub repo. Eventually, when the project
Okay.
is complete, if I feel like you are a good collaborator, you know what I mean? If anybody wants a reference, yeah, I'll be happy to be like, yeah, that person, like to be able to say, yeah, that person did work on that project and
Okay.
give my opinion. But like, yeah, it is good to use it. And it is you know, everybody's working together. And I guess me and the one of the other guys with a lot of experience was Rigel. He's not here today because he had an event to show up to. But me and him are working on getting everything set up so we can make it as close to similar
Okay.
to open source, but a little bit more organized than that, so that way people get a good feel for working with the team on a project. And then
Okay.
so we have stages of the development process too that we're going through. And it's
Okay.
not just everybody just willy-nilly just throwing code everywhere. You know what I mean? Like we're trying to have it a little more structured than that. But yeah,
As far as like the sprint and everything, because I know a lot of jobs are asking if you
yeah, the
know about
agile.
the
So like I try to
yes.
do that with an agile environment with the Scrum framework. That's usually what we try to use. We're gonna try to follow that as close as we can. I've never seen anybody follow it perfectly, but as long as you're following it as close as you can, and we're using our weekly meetings as sprints. So like these
Okay.
event meetings, weekly on Sundays, we're using them as our own version of like a sprint where we all meet, and also kind of like a stand up. Yeah, hell yeah, Ricardo.
Okay.
Or I'm glad you found it. But yeah, kind of like a stand-up meeting too. Like we're all meeting, we're all gonna get together. Eventually, it's gonna get to a point where we're gonna onboard new people that are coming, but we also need to like get past that and have more time to say, okay, this is where we're at in the project. Is there any issues? What can we get done and keep going? And then we're gonna post these recordings on our YouTube channel consistently, so people that are onboarding they have a reference point, so that way if they
Okay.
couldn't make the meeting for some reason, even if they're a current collaborator, they couldn't make the meeting, they can watch the video and get up to speed on what they missed. But yeah, that's how we're going to try to do it because we didn't want to like because we all got our lives outside of this project, so we're trying to make it so that way um, on your own time during the week is your contributions to the project, but the only obligation is this Sunday's event meeting, and that's not even an obligation. If you want to show up, show up. If you don't, you can catch the recording, but it'd be nice if everybody shows up and we're always getting everybody's input. So like that's the
Okay.
plan, you know what I mean? But like
Sounds
that's how we're
good.
doing it. It's like we're gonna try to do like weekly sprints on the project, especially once we start coding. But for now, we're still
Okay.
in the beginning stages, the setting up and getting all the planning for the project done. And we need to still
Okay.
figure out who's going to be doing the wireframes. I think somebody's already took on that assignment when I looked at the mural board, but I gotta check with them to make sure. But I don't care. I'll welcome anybody's wireframe. Just because one person's doing it doesn't mean multiple people can't do it because um, you'll see different people have different ideas, and then we can mesh those ideas together depending on what we want to do. You know what I mean? So we're gonna be doing things,
Okay.
getting everybody's input. We're not gonna just um, like even the section that's about the project. If you feel like you have an idea all you got to do is create a sticky note and go ahead and paste it here, like how this sticky notes here. You can paste it anywhere, wherever you feel like it's relevant, and inject your ideas there. And then if maybe we'll add them here, we'll add them here. But I just want it to be, I wanted it to be um, like highly like collaborative, and we ended up getting a lot of people interested, and there's new people coming in every week, so I think it's gonna be a good one, a good experience. And then I got to finish the readme so that way I can add a collaborators section, and it's gonna have everybody's GitHub uh you know images there as collaborators like you would see on a normal repo. But like if I see
Okay.
anybody just stale, nobody's contributing, because I can look at the history. An employer can look at the history too. So like for example, you can look at the history of the GitHub. I can look at your history, and it'll tell me what you contributed or what everybody's contributing on the GitHub repo. And if I feel like, okay, there's people there that have access but they're not contributing, I'm gonna check with them and personally just a DM. And if they're not going to be active in the project, I'm going to kick them, because of what I want is people to be. I want like active contributors, all of us, so that way in the end we're all benefiting from it. The people that are actively contributing, like I don't want somebody just free riding. You know what I mean? Because like we're,
Yes.
I don't know if you mean, because I believe it's not right to um, claim everybody else's work as your own if you didn't make a contribution, basically. And I think that's fair for everybody, is to expect everybody to contribute at some level. Nobody's expected to contribute at the highest level possible or at a level that's beyond them. But I'm expecting everybody, even if they're barely learning, they're beginners. Yeah, see, Ricardo, you take care too. Even if you're a beginner, I'm just expecting you to just learn along the way. And even if you're contributing just your little bit, that's good enough for me. As long as you're contributing or what to the best of your ability, I would say, to the best of your ability. If you're honestly contributing to that ability, then I have no problem. You're good.
Sounds good.
You know what I mean? Just as long as
Hmm.
nobody's trying to free ride and take advantage of anybody, and or let everybody do the work for them. I just want everybody that's active on the repo to show me that they put in some work, and we're all good. We're ready to go. Yeah, you need to have an account 360 to see the board. That's why I said if you want to send me your email, I can send you an invite. And then if once you get a GitHub account set up, you send me that username, and then I can send you the an invite for the GitHub repo. And then if you when I post this video on the YouTube channel, you can rewatch it, and then you'll know how to set up and get everything connected to the GitHub repo, because I kind of went over that process again, but you'll want to watch all the videos if you can. There's only two. I mean, watch those two, and then watch the one I post today, and then I'm gonna end up eventually posting another one on basic command line. How to use the command line, like at a basic level, just basic commands, like common basic commands that everybody should know. And then that does it every week. I'll be doing, like, if anybody has a suggestion on videos they'd like me to post there, I'll do that in the future. But every week I'm gonna try to record these, and as long as we're not having technical difficulties, then I'll have a recording, and then I'm gonna push it to the YouTube channel. So like so far, this recording has went well. I haven't had any difficulties getting the recording done, so this one's gonna be there for sure.
So I have a question. I'm trying to it has something to do with the Git repo. I'm trying to with the installation on the Git repo. It says to install npm packages, npm install. So when I put that in the terminal, it says there's an npm error.
It
So
says
it's saying that
npm
it
error.
cannot
Okay, I'd
find
have to
it.
see your screen. So you'd have to like show me your
Uh,
screen or something, because I'd have to see the
okay.
error itself so I could see what you're dealing with.
Okay. I guess we could actually do that after this because I know you're still, talking about the project.
And
So
thank you,
yes.
360, for the post. I'm gonna delete mine so that way we don't have two of them. I'm gonna leave yours though. Yeah, thank you. Ricardo, yeah, there's the link for the get for the YouTube channel. Oh, I think you just thumbs up it. All right. All right. So yeah, what happened, Tiffany? Yeah, you'll have to share your screen. think I have to stop streaming mine, and then you have to share your screen so I can see your error, so I can see what's maybe the problem is with
Okay.
why you're not
Let me
able
go
to
ahead.
connect.
Okay, let me see.
Okay, it finished loading. Let me see.
You
All right,
see, I
it's
have
because
this
you're
right
having the
here.
error because you did what I said not to do. Do you remember what that is? So like you can't run it from the external folders. So go ahead and do file, close folder,
Okay.
and then go back into your go back into open folder on the
Okay.
yeah, you can do it yeah, however you want to open it. Just go back to open folder and then I
Right
can't
here.
see uh like yeah, however you want to open. Oh wait, no, not right there. Yeah, so go back to file, close folder. Do it from the Explorer
Okay.
this time. So go close folder, and then click on
Okay.
the Explorer in the upper left. See the upper left where it's got the two pieces of paper. It looks like. Yeah,
Oh, right here. Okay.
yeah. And then do open folder,
Okay.
and then
And
it's not showing me um your file directory. Yes, you're opening it from the wrong folder. So like you'll have to share your screen and not just the application. You're just sharing the application, not the screen. So like
oh, okay.
yeah, so like I'm gonna
Let me.
stop sharing. Yeah, and then reshare the whole screen so that way I can see because you're not opening it from the project folder. You got to open it from the project folder itself and not from the external folder. So
Okay. So now can you see everything?
yeah, so go back to VS Code and then close folder
Okay. Close folder.
and then
Okay.
open the folder in the open folder.
Right here.
Yeah,
Right here.
and then
Okay.
open
And then
folder.
open.
And then when it
Okay.
opens up that window, where do you have the project stored at? Do you have it in
On the
documents?
desktop.
Okay, so go there real quick. Just navigate wherever you have it. All right, so double click
Right
on that.
here.
No, double click it. And then wait, and then yeah, then single click on AI Help Project
Okay.
and then select that folder. You want to open it from that folder. So see how you have
Okay.
just one folder now in the Explorer, you just have AI Help Project folder open. That's how you want it
Okay.
open. Now if you run that command, it'll work.
Okay. Let's see. Let me go ahead and new terminal. And then. Oh, now. Oh,
Yeah, now
shoot.
it'll work. It's because you're actually in the
Now.
project folder, you're not in the external folder. If you open it from the external folder and you're running commands, it's gonna break because you got to make sure that your path
Oh.
is correct. So like that's why I was gonna do a video on just basic terminal commands and how to navigate your directories, so that way you can make sure you're in
Okay.
the right folder or in the right directory when you're running your projects.
Okay. So this is like the. Okay. Okay. So yeah. So since I have the board as a favorite, I do actually do some brainstorming on there, and I add some notes to there. As far as like color scheme and fonts, and um, just to get an idea what the project. No, just brainstorming. So I actually use that. Do that.
Oh yeah. All right. Yeah, whatever contributions you feel like you want to make, go for it. I'm gonna find. I'm
Okay.
trying to still figure out a way where I can um, connect to everybody that's working on the project, so we can have a way to like message. Maybe I could just message everybody and just in the channel itself. We're trying to figure out a way to like keep track of who's actively contributing, so that we know who's gonna do what, just so things don't go
Okay.
stale, so that we're not waiting for something to happen and nothing's happening. Because we gotta make sure that things
Oh.
are moving along every week. So I'll probably hear from
ye-
a couple people either later today or tomorrow, and then I'll check on the other person that looks like they assigned themselves to do.
I'm not too sure. Let me see. Let me look at the board. Which one? So, how do you assign yourself? You just go to.
Someone just click. Someone just went to that board. I don't know if it's just the demo board or the project planning. Yeah, A on project planning A. Some it looked like somebody
Okay.
started assigning. I don't know if that's just like dummy data, or if that's somebody that has access to the board that they assign themselves the duty to do the wireframes. And I don't mind that. That's cool. But like I feel like if you want to do some wireframes, go for it too. But at least read the project description and understand what the project's about, and then you can kind of create the wireframes after that.
Okay.
Just to get an idea of what you feel like the user interface might look like. Uh,
Okay.
I could probably
Um.
jump in on that too if anybody needs help, or like if depending on who's doing it. Are you a
Somebody.
contributor
Okay.
on this project, Irina? I thought I added you. Okay, I thought you were. All right. All right. So like, yeah, okay. That looks good though. But yeah, basically, if you learn how to, you can play around with the mural board. If you don't know how to use it, then it's pretty easy to learn. Just you might mess up here
Okay.
and there. I do.
Is this
Figure it
is
out.
this like ideas that you came up with, and then people just assign themselves?
No, somebody else came up with that. So somebody already contributed to that portion, which I thought was pretty cool. Cause
Oh. Oh.
um, so like I
Okay.
think it's good to do that because we're gonna want to make sure that we know who's doing what, and then so that way we know that these things are being done too. So that way it's just not on the blind. Like let's say
Okay.
We're using Miro as both a planning, like kind of like a planning, like to lay things out, maybe to do because you can do wireframes on Miro too, but also kind of as a project manager because we didn't want to go to something like Asana or Notion
Okay.
because it was going to be too much to try to keep track of and navigate. So we just like, we'll use Miro for like all three of them
Okay.
to do everything else.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we're gonna try to use the server with as much as we can because we're trying to keep it from anybody having to pay for subscriptions or even me having to pay for subscriptions. So like, if we use something like Notion or Asana, it might get to a point where I have to buy a subscription just for everybody to keep using their project management software there. So that's why we're using
Yes.
Miro. Yeah, so we're
Okay.
gonna try to do it all from Miro.
Okay. Sounds good.
Keep it
Okay.
free. You know what I mean?
I'm
We're
good.
gonna, we're gonna try to we're gonna try to build a cool project using all free software or all free
Okay.
resources to show people that even if you ain't got money or you don't want to spend money, there's no excuse why you shouldn't be building projects right now because you don't need money to build a project. If you're a developer anyway, if you're going to learn to be a developer, like you don't
Okay.
like if you're trying, especially if you're trying to learn and work towards getting hired, you don't need money. Don't let money stop you because you don't need money. If you don't have money or you got bills
I
to pay
was.
and you don't got money just to throw out there like that, you don't need money to build a project. You can do it. There's no excuse. Like
I
yeah, if
see
you
the
got mark,
resources that he wants to
yeah.
look at. The parcel. What's parcel?
So Parcel is our web bundler. So you can click on Parcel if you want, and that's just the bundler we're using in the project, the one that's running the dev server and the build folders and things like that. So like Parcel's like our basically the one that's starting our server for us and everything like that. We're using Parcel for
Oh,
everything.
okay.
It's gonna optimize the
Okay.
website and everything. Yeah, Parcel does everything
Oh, I
for us.
never heard that. Okay.
Well, yeah, but
Oh,
if you read
nice.
up on like if you Google web bundlers, read up on web bundlers, and then you look at the Parcel, what it does for us. You'll see Parcel's like a little bit more modern than something like Webpack. V is better than Parcel, but V is more geared towards using a framework. So we picked Parcel,
Okay.
but they do a lot of work for us
Okay.
that we don't have to do ourselves. So like you just have to read
Oh,
about it, but
nice.
Parcel's great. Parcel does a lot of things that we're not gonna have to do ourselves. But
Okay.
when we get the project ready for
To
like
get home.
development for like
Okay.
a final build, it's gonna do a lot of things for us.
I'm gonna have to check that
Yeah,
out. Yeah.
360. How do
I'm
you
gonna
DM
stop.
me? Yeah, yeah. Go ahead. You can stop sharing. So yeah,
Okay.
360. How do you DM me? Um, on your left right here, you should go to the little where it says direct messages, the little Discord symbol up top. It'll say direct messages, and if you click on that, like you're gonna have like me, I got a bunch of direct messages. So you're gonna click on that and you'll see that. So and you can find me there. I'm pretty sure there's a way to like if you click on my profile, like for
Oh,
example,
not. He said you're not sharing the screen.
oh, it's not. What the
Yeah,
heck?
yeah. Because I stopped the share. Maybe.
Yeah, I thought I was sharing the screen still. Jeez. All right, let me go back. Share screen. All right, I'm sharing the screen now.
Okay.
I forget sometimes too to look right here to see if I'm sharing. All right, so uh, you go to where it says direct messages up here. And then also if you send me a friend request or if you just right click, I think if you right click on me, you can do, let me see how I right clicked on you. I right click on you. I'm pretty sure I can, let me see, you already verified you. What roles do you have? Okay, you got the member role for now.
You got the add friend right there. If
Yeah,
you go up, yes.
yeah, if you add friend, um, let me add you to Ricardo. Why not? But I'm pretty sure there is a way. Oh no, you click on it. So if you left click on it, you can just add a message here. So if I just say hello, I'll just say hello because you don't want to type a whole message in this box. And then I created, now you'll see I created a chat history for me and you. So now you can type, we can type whatever you want right here. Oops, hold on. All right, so that's somebody else. All right, let me see. Jeez, I'm all over the place. Where are we going? All right, so let me go here back to where we were. Uh, so did you get that 360? I think you got that. All right, Ricardo. Yeah. It's a little weird how you got to navigate it at first, but once we have a chat history, you ain't got to worry about it. It's easy. It's like they designed it so they make it like um not too easy for you to DM somebody unless you're a friend already, or I mean they give you a one-liner right there. You right click it and or left click it in the profile, and then you can just send a quick message if you want. And then once you create a chat history, it's easier to have a conversation there. But if you right click it, it'll give you a little more information. And um, yeah, yeah. And you guys can select your own roles in the channel. There should be a roles channel where you can select your own roles if you want. Yeah, I know. I seen that, Ricardo. I what's it called? That was like straight up accident, but don't worry. Uh, maybe I'll see if there's like something I could do about that. I'm not sure. Um, all right, so maybe I could try to see if I can. I don't know if I can blur it because I'm using OBS Studio, so I don't know if I can blur that temporarily before I push it to YouTube. But um, maybe I can find a way to edit it out. All right, so uh, yeah, the email from Miro. I'll send you that right now. Give me a second. Let me take this off the screen. If it even matters at this point. Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, if it still matters. All right. Let me see. I see. So you just created an account on Miro? All right. So let me go back to Miro and then I'll send you that invite. So let me see. Go to stop it. All right. I'm sending you the invite for the Miro board right now. All right. I just sent it to you. All right. So Ricardo is typing. All right. See you later, Ricardo. We're almost at time anyway. We got like 10 minutes left. If you two that are still here, if you guys have any questions or anything. 360. Do you have a GitHub repo? Did you or do you have a GitHub account? Did you set up a GitHub account? All right. So whenever you set that up, let me know, and then send me that username. I think that's it. Yeah, that's all we needed to go over. So we got 9 minutes. Too bad we can't, because this is the event. I guess this is the event channel, or it's like a stage channel. They don't let us. They don't let us play the Discord games on here. Otherwise, I'd try to play a game with you guys till like for for a few minutes. I like to stay on just until 12, just to see who shows up, or if anybody shows up. Maybe they have questions. Maybe they don't know that there's gonna be recording. Um, so I'll be hanging out till 12 o'clock. I'm not sure exactly what more to go over. I was hoping yeah, see you next time. What about you, Tiffany?
Actually, I'm okay.
You're okay? All right. And then
Yeah,
yeah, all right. So let me know. Yeah,
I
you
just
can
worked on this.
DM me
Okay.
anytime.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you very much, Ricardo. Let's see you next week.
All right, see you guys next week.
Okay.